Dear Narendra Modi ji, greetings on behalf not only of the Indian Christian community, but also on behalf of humanity as a whole. There are some issues, I'm sure you will agree, that pertain to the core of our human condition, and religious freedom is surely one such. When human beings are terrorized for the religious beliefs they hold, it is not only a local, not even a national, but a human issue of international universal significance. It concerns humanity as a whole. And that's the reason why I thought I would make a personal appeal to you in this context. First of all, I wish to hail the reassuring symbolic value in your attending the Christmas program in the Cathedral of Redemption in New Delhi. I'm sure it is valued as a significant public affirmation that you respect the Lord Jesus Christ, as millions and billions of people across the centuries and around the world do. You value his teachings, you value his mission, because I've heard you quote from the teachings of Jesus Christ on many occasions, and you have a particular gift in quoting most appropriately from the body of Jesus' teachings. Secondly, you're attending the service at the Cathedral of Redemption in New Delhi also proves that you uphold the Constitution of India, which guarantees freedom of religions to all citizens. It's also a clarification that as the Prime Minister of India, you care for all people groups and religious communities and remain faithful to your pledge, the pledge that you have taken, swearing by the Constitution of India, to govern the people of India justly and impartially, and recognizing that to be the very essence of the constitutional morality that all of us as citizens are required to respect and to give effect to. I was moved by the spectacle of the Bishop of Delhi, Bishop Paul Sarub, offering a special prayer for God's grace and guidance to abound in you, so that the people of India are justly and wisely governed. By the way, here I must add that if you really look at it objectively, it goes against the grain of worship, particularly as understood by the Christian community, to be focused on any individual, no matter what exalted office he holds. Because in the presence of God, all are absolutely equal and no difference in degree or rank, caste or class is valid in the presence of God. But knowing this, the Bishop of Delhi made an exception in your case, and I fully endorse what he has done. So he prayed that God may imbue you with special gifts and graces so that you succeed in doing ample justice to the very sacred and profound responsibilities that have come upon you as the CEO of the world's foremost functioning democracy. It's not a small thing. I noticed with much encouragement how devout and reverential you looked at that time when the Bishop of Delhi prayed over you. Surely it augurs well for the country as a whole, and it sends a very healthy message and a reassuring message, particularly to a beleaguered minority community like the Indian Christian community. That brings me to a core concern I need to share with you. While you are expressing your solidarity with the Indian Christian community on the occasion of commemorating the birth of Jesus, various misguided elements in your own political and ideological camp were attacking Christians and disrupting Christmas services and celebrations in the name of Hinduism, unfortunately, in the BJP ruled states. The two scenes, the two spectacles do not agree, they contradict each other. The spectacle of the Prime Minister of India standing and worshipping with the Christian community in the Cathedral of Redemption in the heart of Delhi, and his followers, the zealots in Hinduism, going round and merrily attacking Christians who are commemorating or celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ in various BJP ruled states. The two contradict each other and contradict each other rather brutally. In fact, I'm struck by the irony of the situation. It was your sense of religious reverence that made you attend the service in the cathedral, but it was the religious zeal of some members of the Hindu community that made them take the law into their hands and make a mockery of the message you communicated by attending the Christmas service. Surely, these misguided religious fanatics think that religious zeal licenses them to act criminally in flagrant violation of the law of the land. Your religious sense makes you respect religious diversity. At least that's the message you communicated to the people of India by attending the Christmas service in the cathedral. So you respect religious diversity, but the religious zeal of some elements in your own camp attacks religious diversity as an expression of their communal zeal, communal and political zeal. I'm sure you would not wish to overlook this very cruel contradiction. You cannot afford to do so. Through this letter, therefore, I wish to make the following appeals. Number one, please make an emphatic statement, unambiguous, mustering all your authority and personal charisma. Please make an emphatic statement in full exercise of the enormous authority you command today, that the religious rights of all citizens would be protected without any discrimination or dilution. Please make the fanatical elements within the Sangh Parivar understand that constitutional rights are not anybody's charity and that they are the fundamental rights which must be deemed sacrosanct by everyone who respects the Constitution and believes in the rule of law. Please also make them understand that on your watch, the rule of law will not be compromised and no one will be allowed to take the law into his or her hand. My second appeal to you is as follows. Please make it clear that all citizens will be entitled to equality in the eye of the law and that discrimination of every kind will be eliminated and it will not be tolerated. This is not charity to be extended grudgingly to any person or religious group. This is nothing but the basic duty to uphold and give effect to fundamental rights as envisaged in the Constitution of India. So it is the bottom line requirement of a rules-based modern democratic polity. My third appeal to you is as follows. Please also make the religious fanatics in our midst understand that they will not be allowed to foul and discredit the image of India as a foremost functioning secular democratic country in the eye of the world. Communal aggression and religious boorishness belong to the barbaric past. They have no place in a civilized world and a sane society. India deserves to be respected the world over and not be misunderstood as a backward looking, pre civilizational society characterized by communal atrocities and pseudo tribal tensions. Finally, I appeal to you also to protect your own image unblemished. I do so because I am a Democrat at heart who believes that the duly elected Prime Minister of my country, which you are, belongs to Indians as a whole, and not only in India, but also wherever Indians live anywhere in the world. You are a prime minister to all of them without any distinction, and everyone is happy and proud to acknowledge you as such. I would like to emphasize the fact that your public image, its integrity, its credibility, its unblemished vitality is a national asset. It's not a private property, it's a national asset. The worst condemnation that can befall a person is the stigma of being a hypocrite. The greatest danger that the image of a person holding a high office, in fact, the highest office in this country, executive office, not ceremonial office, is that of the prime minister. And therefore, the worst condemnation that can befall a person of your exalted calling is the stigma of being a hypocrite. The word hypocrite literally means an actor. It's a word of Greek origin, and it literally means an actor. A hypocrite seems what he is not. He puts up various appearances to suit the occasion. He puts on roles, costumes, and appearances as the immediate context demands or dictates. An actor is not required to be consistent between what he is and what he appears to be. But a respected leader surely is. And you are the leader of 1.4 billion human beings. It's not a small thing. Therefore, I, as a Democrat at heart, attach tremendous value to your public image, which I cherish as a national asset. Let it not be blemished with the slur of hypocrisy. If the gesture of enlightened piety and secular free mindedness that you presented to the nation by attending the Christmas service in the cathedral is not complemented with taking a firm stand in favor of rule of law and constitutional morality, I'm afraid the consequence will be disheartening, both nationally and internationally. People will not accord to you the credibility and the respect that you deserve. You have emerged as a devotee of Lord Ram. As a follower of Jesus Christ, I respect you for being an ardent follower of Lord Ram. A person who respects his spiritual tradition will surely respect the spiritual traditions of every other human being. So I cannot but respect you for being such an ardent devotee of Lord Ram. I watched with awe and wonder the religious fervor that you showed in dedicating the Ram temple in Ayodhya. Lord Ram was Maryada Purushottam. He embodied righteousness, which is inspired justice. Surely, building a magnificent temple for Lord Ram is nothing if what he symbolized, namely justice and dharma or moral law, is diluted or discarded. It's easy to build a temple for Lord Ram. It's far more difficult and a far greater achievement to give effect to what Lord Ram symbolized, which is a rule of righteousness. That's the challenge that you have to face. May righteousness shine like the morning sun on the Indian subcontinent. May you succeed in transforming India into a nation of righteousness. I close this appeal by reminding you and myself as well of the brief conversation that we had in Vigyan Bhavan some 20 years ago, as both of us were then members of the National Integration Council, and we met at one of its meetings in the Vigyan Bhavan. As we met, and I reminded you of how my views differed radically from your views, what were your response? What did you say to me then? I have not forgotten those lovely, encouraging words. Very simple, but extremely meaningful, so meaningful that it's remained stuck to my memory. And I'm going to quote your own words. When I said to you that my views are radically opposed to your views, he said, so what? That should not prevent us from being friends. That's what you said. I hope you remember this. So what? That should not prevent us from becoming friends. And I loved you for that statement. I make this appeal encouraged, but encouraged by what you said to me then, which I have every reason to believe you meant most sincerely. I close by wishing you divine inspiration in doing ample justice to the Raj Dharma, the Dharma of righteous governance. I'm sure you have not forgotten the promise that you made to the people of India way back in 2014 when you promised less government, more governance. Less government, more governance. But unfortunately, I do not hear that wonderful goal being stated and reaffirmed these days. So I appeal to you to uphold the Raj Dharma, the Dharma of righteous governance. May you be remembered by future generations as a true Bhakt of Lord Ram, the Maryada Purushottam. Jai Hind.